In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the different steps I will take if I was trying to find a new niche to target. So let's just get right into it. Okay guys, so I wanted to share with you guys my newest ebook that is completely free. I'm going to link a link for it on the description below so you can get it and if you want to follow along. But I wanted to kind of make this video walking you through it because this is how if I was starting completely over and if I was trying to figure out like my niche and how to find, niches that are profitable and that I'm also passionate about and the different steps that I should be taking, this is what I would do. So you will kind of start here with the first step. And this is kind of where you start brainstorming. So pretty much you want to like writing like what is your like interest, like what do you really like let's say if like obviously I have examples here for you, but obviously this is going to look differently for you. Like if you like reading or you like running or hiking, or what is it that you really like to do if when you work if you work a 9 to 5, and what are the things that you like to do outside of work, or you like to travel, fitness, like any of this. Those are obviously just to help you kind of get that started, but you don't have to pick any of this. But start with like, what is it that lights you up? What is it that you really love to do, right? When you're done, once you're done with this part, then we're gonna go into like, what are your passion projects? Meaning like, what causes like light you up? What are you in support? Like, are you trying to defend human trafficking or kids trafficking or animal rights? And maybe you have had cancer or a family member have had cancer and you're trying to fight that. Like whatever is it that you really that you really stand so strongly for, those are all like I will consider like passion projects, right? So after we move on from that, then we get into this whole like trend pop culture type of thing where you can kind of start looking into like, what are some things that you're seeing happening right now? Like for example, like this year has been really big into like the 90s and the 70s, like those eras where everything was like retro and hippie and all things like that, like has really been going on really strong. Or it could be about that, or also could be like, what things light you up when it comes to like, new movies or songs or anything that has come up that really inspires you. That's where I will kind of write all that stuff or put all that stuff here. Hey guys, Bridget here. If you're finding value in this video, always make sure that you're subscribing and you liking it and you hitting the bells so you never miss the next time that I release a new video. And then again, who are the type of, what I mean by target audience is like, who are the type of people that you want to serve? What are those people? Who are those people like, are they, maybe it's like the moms, that are into fitness, or the moms that homeschool their kids, or the moms that are, their kids go to do sports, or what type of people, or like or the person that really loves their dog or their cat, like what those people are, like what type of things those people like to do. What is the age demographics? Like, is it women between like 20s and 40s that, are busy, working class? Like I will describe all those type of things here because that will be like the target audience, right? And then when we're moving on, now we're going into like this whole research part of things. The best way to do competitor analysis is literally going on Etsy. You can literally go on Etsy. I always like to search on the incognito window. And if you don't even know where to begin, you can always go to like women's shirts, or if you have a niche, you can look for that niche. And the way that you find competitors is like, if you're saying your interest, if you don't even know where your interest is, you can just let Etsy lead you and you start picking on things, maybe like designs that catches your eye. And let's say this design catches my eye, then I just click on it. And then I'll go and open that shop and I'll just look into that shop and see what sort of stuff that they sell that maybe I might want to, sell in that niche too. Or if you have a niche, you can also type it up here. Or like, not say like if you have a niche, but if you have like more inclination of what type of niche you want to go into, you can search that too. And whatever causes your eye, to say this dog mama design is really interesting to me, then I will look into that shop. And you're looking for like, how successful that shop is. They have this many sales. How long have they been open? And that usually is down here, or it can tell you here by looking at the first reviews, like since 2022. Do they sell more things? Like that dog mom catches your interest. You can search here. Do they have more dog mom designs? And that's kind of how you will search this different print on demand people. You will go into Etsy and look at, and then what you're doing is like you're trying to study them and trying to see, well, why are they doing well? Why are they not? What gaps can you fill in? Like, what are some things that maybe you can bring that are better or that can help you stand out? And just saying, like, how many like sales are they having? Like, are they making money in these niches? So things like that is your, for example, like with those designs, like I'm like, let's say there's a lot of like very like just, I don't know, black designs. Maybe you can bring, color to it, or maybe you can bring personalized items to it. So that's where that will kind of go here. And again, this trends, I have an actual YouTube video that I linked here that walks you through like my research process, how I just gather inspiration to just kind of train my brain and train my eyes to figure out what people want. And this is everywhere, like Google Trends, Instagram, Pinterest, studying, other retailers. If you are get emails from people right wherever you shop at, like studying like the newest drop, summer drop, winter drop, whatever they telling you that just came out. Those are all things that are selling, that are doing well, that are in demand, that people want. That's what you're trying to study. And when you're studying so many, like, I mean, everything that you see, colors, patterns, placements, everything that you see. But again, if you want more inspiration on like how I do that, I did link a research video that helps me with that part, or that kind of helps you get that started if you don't even know where to begin. But this is more of like going into rabbit holes, guys. This is not a very like step one, you do this, step two, you do this. Like, actually, this whole niche exploration is about going into rabbit holes. What sometimes you find the best niches when you just kind of let your brain just go. Like, you just start clicking here and clicking here, whatever lights you up, whatever you start to be inspired by, that's how you go with this. Because trust me, that's where you will find the inspiration. That's where everything will click. That's where everything will make sense. So that's the best way to do this. And I know it's not very like black and white, but trust me, the more you let go of that and the more fun you have with it, and you kind of keep a loose perspective and a loose way of doing it, the better it's going to be. And again, then you move on. Let's say you already have an Etsy shop, right? And let's say you've had some reviews or you've had some items that have sold. Well, those should tell you, or those should be inclinations of like what to focus on. Maybe start offering more of those type of items because they're already sold and they're sold for a reason, right? Or maybe you're getting customers that are sending you messages like, hey, can you do this, shirt in black instead of white? Those are all things that should be giving you clues of what people want. So don't ever ignore your customers. Don't ever ignore what's selling, because those are all clues of directions that you should be going into. And again, once you've done all of that, like all those brainstorms, and you look at competitors and all that, then you're going to select like the top 3 that you find interesting. You're going to pick, because at the end, guys, you cannot just do research forever. You're going to have to pick something. You're going to, I know it's the commitment thing, but you're going to have to pick something, because you can't do this forever, because at the end, you do have to go. You do have to start. You can't just like sit on this for a lifetime. Then you will just write down like your top interests, like the top 3 that come to your head. Maybe like the dog niche and the, homeschool mom, and like, like you will just write down whatever 3 come to your head or that you found the most interesting. And then based on those, now you're going to really identify those people, right? Like if you pick one of them, it's like dog parents, then it's like, okay, who are those people? Is it a woman, man? Like it's a woman that's like between 25 to like, I don't know, 45, that works really hard to, take care of her dog and buy, and she loves to like wear things that represent her love for her dog and whatever her dog is, let's say like a pit bull. So you're going to really study that person. Like, and what I mean by studying is like kind of like what you will picture or you will think a person that owns this pet do, right? They have disposable income because they will be on Etsy buying things that represent their dogs, like either like a sweatshirt or a mug, anything related to that. So that's where that would go. And again, the unique selling proposition, meaning like, what are you bringing that's different? What's going to make you apart from what's out there? What, based on that niche that you found, what are some things that you can bring differently? Let's say maybe there's a lot of shirts or sweatshirts, but maybe you can stand out by selling mugs instead. So just finding like what can separate you from everybody else. And I'm not saying that you can't sell shirts and sweatshirts, because you can, but it's about coming into the market offering something differently. Or again, like I say, if you're seeing a lot of designs are just black, maybe you can offer some that are more colorful. Like, what can you do that will make things differently than what's already out there? Because again, you want to bring something different. You don't want to add to the same thing. Then we get into the whole designing. So again, you study that niche, right? You figure out you want, the dog mom niche, and you're figuring out that a lot of designs are like, let's say, bold, and like they use like, bold letters, and they're black, and they use, a lot of graphics with fonts, with like, text, or like you kind of studying what type of designs are the people that are selling are doing. Are they doing a lot of graphics? Are they doing a lot of text-based designs? Or are they doing text and graphics? What do they colors are? Like, you're studying all these different type of things to help you gather ideas for when you're going to be designing. Again, what are the products are they using, and what type of products you do will do well for this niche. Again, start with one at a time. I will not go and like add 50 billion products in one niche. Because you need to get really good at it. So obviously in the dog mom niche, there's a lot of shirts and sweatshirts that are being bought, but also mugs. So maybe you can start with one of those and just kind of really get really good at that product before you like move on to the new thing. I would say I wouldn't add a new product into like, you have like one that's doing really well and the design is working, and it makes sense to add it into something else. And then you'll be obviously start thinking of ideas of what your new designs are going to be like, what you're thinking about creating. And then that is kind of it. So this is kind of how I will use this little ebook or worksheets, however you want to call them. It's more to help you explore different niches, for you to kind of get into that whole mindset of like, what are you looking for in a niche? And so you don't have to be so overwhelmed with niches, because I know it could be overwhelming trying to pick a niche and find one that works for you. But start from the whole of like your interest. Start from your interest and then work your way from what interests you to then, finding what's out there based on what interests you, and then taking the steps like that. So I hope that having this little ebook or worksheet, however you want to call it, kind of helps you make that process a little bit, easier to do. So you made it to the end of this video, and if you're still looking for more niche related videos, then I'm going to be linking this video next, because on that video I give you a very specific occupational niche that you can make a lot of money in. See you in the next one.